In tonight's top story, Iowa grieves over the loss of 2 Des Moines police officers,
as well as an investigation of the death of a 16-year-old.
And I'll give you some inside look on the celebrations in Ames after last night's Cubs victory in my Newswatch Sports Report.
These aren't the typical temperatures you'll find in November, and I'll tell you what to expect in the future. You're watching Newswatch.
Thanks for watching and have a good rest of your night and week. Stay classy, Cyclones.
Good afternoon and welcome to ISUtv. I'm Eveline Meidt.
And I'm Coley Bergren. Thanks for joining us.
2 Des Moines area officers were shot and killed while sitting in their squad cars just over 2 miles from each other early Wednesday morning. They now have a suspect in custody by the name of Scott Michael Green. The 2 victims were Officer Justin Martin and Sergeant Anthony Bamino. Chief Ross McCarthy says it appeared that Green walked up to Martin's patrol car and fired 15 to 30 shots into the driver's side of the vehicle. They think Green just walked up on foot and Officer Martin had no signs of being in fear at all previous to that. That was at 1:06 a.m. Later, at 1:26 a.m., Sergeant Bamino was shot about 2 miles from Martin. Bamino died in Iowa Methodist Medical Center. With everything going on, police went to search for Green, but not alone. Schools were shut down that day as well as today.
Also in Des Moines, police are investigating the death of a 16-year-old girl. Originally, police were called October 24th in response to a cardiac arrest. After Natalie Jasmine Finn was reported dead, neighbors said things weren't adding up. Several times, neighbor Dan Conrad said Finn had asked him for money, food, and clothes. Once the toxicology results are received, we will know the official reason behind Natalie's death. Nobody was available for the interview with the Finn family. The investigation is continuing, and hopefully they will get to the bottom of Natalie's death.
The wife of an Ames man who died of a gunshot wound to his head has now confessed to killing him. She is being charged with first-degree murder and was arrested on Tuesday. The shooting originally thought to be an accident. Candace claimed that she thought she heard something at night, so she walked out of her room with a handgun. When she realized it was nothing, she walked back into the room where she tripped and the gun accidentally went off. After an autopsy, though, the police brought Candace back in for another interview. There, she admitted to watching her husband sleep for 5 to 10 minutes and then killing him. She claimed that the stress of the relationship was just too much, and she snapped. If convicted, Candace could spend life in prison.
Iowa is looking to adopt a new drunk driving program similar to the one in South Dakota. It would not only punish those who drive drunk, but the businesses that supplied the alcohol. In 2015 alone, 119 people were killed due to accidents involving impaired driving. Some citizens and lawmakers are against this adoption because representatives of the alcohol industry contribute around $522,000 to Iowa lawmakers' funds. At least 9 bills about drunk driving or impaired driving were introduced in the last 2 legislative sessions.
The city of Ames is pushing to have its bike paths connected to the High Trestle Trail in the heart of Iowa Nature Trail. 3 different trails connections were proposed at the Ames City Council meeting on September 20th. Current funding has not been identified, but paving the trails would cost $400,000 per mile. The Ames City Council has set aside some money to upgrade paths, but no money is currently set aside to completely connect the trails. Bike paths are located throughout Ames and offer a simple transportation method for people who don't own cars or don't live on side routes.
With early voting becoming the norm in recent elections, what happens when people cast their votes but pass away before Election Day? Turns out that Donald Trump's claim of people who died 10 years ago still vote is false. Most states do count votes of the recently deceased, and this is because it can become impossible to separate the votes of the living from the deceased. In Florida, an estimated 450 voting age people die each day. The 2000 presidential election came down to a difference of 537 votes from this state. According to many election offices, if the ballot is in by Election Day, it counts.
After the break, an Iowa State dance group is attempting to dance their way into a national competition.
Don't go anywhere, you're watching Newswatch.
Welcome back. A dance group comprised of Iowa State students from 4 different groups is attempting to dance their way to the top in a national video competition. The forum includes dancers that are members of Dub H, Third Party Trickers, Midwest Militia, and Cyclone Breakers. They're the only Iowa team competing in the Red Bull Bracket Reel dance competition, in which voters choose their favorite videos. The groups have to come up with a new video each week, which consists of 4 rounds. The winner will be crowned the Red Bull Bracket Dance Champion. This week, the forum is pitted against Duke University's DefMo. To check out more videos and to cast your vote, visit redbullbracketreel.com. Voting ends at 11:59 tonight.
TRIO has made its mark at Iowa State. TRIO is a federally funded program that supports low-income students and helps first-generation college students reach graduation. The program began in 1965, but has just recently found its home at Iowa State. It has a history of being an equal opportunity program as long as students meet the low-income or first-generation requirements. Iowa State offers 3 TRIO-affiliated programs: Upward Bound, Educational Talent Search, and Student Support Services. ETS and Upward Bound are for high school students, but Student Support Services directly serves the Iowa State community. Services with the program include workshops to improve academic, social, and professional performance to help students succeed in college and post-graduation.
Student government reviewed proposals from the Mental Health Awareness Task Force during a regularly scheduled meeting Wednesday night. The Student Government Mental Health Task Force discussed its purpose to introduce proposals to change the current standing of mental health on campus. Firstly, it was proposed that more student leaders around campus would receive training. The force believes that current student leaders do not have the necessary training required for mental health related situations. The force believes this training would help leaders to bring down stress levels for students who need it. The second proportion of the force was to create an online portal for students who need it and to be able to use it. And finally, a building designated for students with mental health issues.
In the same student government meeting, the American Sign Language Club representative discussed its ideas as well, where they spoke in sign language to board Senate members, then asked the members to describe the experience. The reply confused and left out. The Sign Language Club described that the feeling the members felt is how students who speak sign language feel every day. As an example, for a teacher giving a lecture, the students just would not interact at all or show any interest. Senate members inquired what a good approach to be, and the response was to just approach an American Sign Language student and to not be afraid, as there are a handful of resources available for both cultures to get along.
The opening night of the Iowa State Musical Cabaret is tomorrow at 7:30 in the Fisher Theater. This 2.5-hour musical is set in Germany during the Second World War. It is about a singer in an underground nightclub in Berlin whose instincts are to live in the moment and to not take anything very seriously. The musical is $24 for adult and $16 for students and will run until Sunday the 13th.
As you know, it's game day, but tonight is even more special. The Iowa State ROTC will be marching in honor of the approaching holiday Veterans Day. Junior Harrison Sir says, "We're trying to honor veterans by wearing the uniform and really trying to drum up the support for the service."
And now we are joined at the desk by Hawn Wong. Hong, I know the Cyclones are playing right now. Can you give us a current update?
Yeah, definitely, guys. It is currently at the half with Oklahoma leading 27-17. I'll give you more updates and more about Cyclone sports after the break. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Newswatch. Unfortunately, I'm no Ben Olsen, but I am Hawn Wong, taking over for your Newswatch Sports Report. We start off with some Iowa State volleyball as the Cyclones had an interconference battle last night against the 12-12 West Virginia Mountaineers. It was all Iowa State from start to finish as the home team was able to sweep the visitors in a quick and clean 3-set match. Senior outside hitter Chiara Capizio had another fantastic night as she was able to lead the Cyclones with 8 kills while hitting 500%. Redshirt freshman Haley Halagas also continued her strong season as Iowa State's starting libero. Halagas found 19 digs on the night where Iowa State's defense kept the Mountaineers to a .106 kill percentage. Iowa State moves to 13-9 on the season and are in 5th place in the Big 12 standings. The Cyclones head down to Lubbock, Texas tomorrow in what should be an easy matchup against the conference winless Texas Tech Red Raiders. That matchup will start at 5 p.m. Central Time. And on to Iowa State football, as the Cyclones are currently live on ESPN at halftime with Oklahoma leading 27-17 against the 14th ranked Sooners. This matchup is crucial for both teams looking to improve upon their seasons. On one hand, the Oklahoma Sooners are a 5-game win streak, looking to make the college playoffs after dropping games to Houston and Ohio State earlier this year. for Iowa State. The 1-6 team does have hope in their potential to be a force on offense in a conference that doesn't lack in points per game. The Sooners were able to get on the board first with a 6-yard touchdown pass to wideout Mark Andrews. Iowa State starting quarterback Jacob Park tonight in hopes to revitalize the passing attack with starting running back Mike Warren dealing with a few hamstring injuries. Although he's suited up, David Montgomery got the start with Kene Nwangu playing relief. The current score is again 28-17 at the half, with the second half starting soon. But don't worry, Iowa State fans. If you're lost all hope in the Cyclones on the field, you'll have some new hope on the court this Sunday as Iowa State's men's basketball team opens up their season against the Cougars of Sioux Falls. Led by All-American point guard Monte Morris, the Cyclones are looking to continue their tournament streak as they came into the season ranked 24th in the nation. Along with Morris, this year will be his two sharpshooting wingmen in Matt Thomas and injury-free Naz Long, both creeping their way up Iowa State's three-point shooting leaderboards. The Big 12's 2015 Newcomer of the Year, Deontay Burton, is also back to shoulder some of the load that Iowa State Cyclone legend George Niang is leaving behind. Second-year coach Steve Prohm will seemingly have a brand new rotation of players at his disposal. Forwards Simeon Carter, Ray Kasongo, and Solomon Young will all see time down low, while reserve guards Donovan Jackson, Jacoby Long, and Nick Babb will try to rest the legs of Monte Morris, who led the Big 12 in minutes last game. While there is a question mark surrounding the team's ability to rebound and defend, expect Prohm and company to make a splash throughout the season in hopes to win their third Big 12 tournament win in 4 years. Iowa State's exhibition match against Sioux Falls begins at 6 p.m. Sunday on Cyclones.tv. And lastly, if you were able to stay up late last night to witness greatness, well, congratulations. What a time to be alive, Chicago. The Chicago Cubs are the 2016 World Series champs, beating the Cleveland Indians in 7 games. And oh boy, what a Game 7 it was. Game 7 of this year's World Series could not have been scripted any better, as we saw extra innings, multiple ace pitchers, home runs, grandpas, and even a timely rain delay. Cleveland's 3-1 series lead heading into Game 5 couldn't stop Chicago's reign of runs as they led up Games 5, 6, and 7 with 20 total. And Chicago was not the only team to celebrate this win, as last night Lisa Greenwood got footage of the celebrations here in Ames at Welch. Take a look.
For the first time in 108 years, the Chicago Cubs won the World Series. They beat the Cleveland Indians 8-7 in the 10th inning of the 7th game after a 17-minute rain delay. After the win, fans, lifelong or otherwise, set to the streets of Ames, initiating a wild celebration in the center of Welch Avenue, singing "Go Cubs Go" and even throwing in some Sweet Caroline. At the time of the last Cubs World Series win in 1908, Theodore Roosevelt was president, New Mexico, Alaska, Arizona, and Hawaii were not yet states, and the Ford Model T was only 2 weeks old.
Oh, there's the way you take. Yes. Yes, actually, describe it. Just go Cubs go. Just go Cubs go. Right there.
The curse is finally over, and Cubs fans around the world can stop saying, maybe next year. I'm Lisa Greenwood with ISUtv.
Not only was this series the most watched in MLB history, but it also broke the dreaded Chicago curse, as this was Chicago's first World Series championship since 1908. And to put that in perspective for you guys, Mark Twain was still alive at 72 years old, and heroin was a legal over-the-counter drug. Ben Zobrist was named the 2016 World Series MVP after hitting .357 in 7 games, including 2 doubles, a triple, and a go-ahead run in Game 7's extra innings as Chicago beat Cleveland 8-7. Make sure you fly that W out there, Cubbies fans. You deserved it. And that's all I have for my Cyclone Newswatch Sports Report. Andres, it's been a really nice day today. Do you expect those temperatures to stay through the week?
Well, we're talking about expectations, and there were a lot of surprises in that Cubs game yesterday, and there are a lot of surprises in the temperatures. The forecast in November, not usually what it is about right now, but I'll have more after the break. Stay tuned. You're watching Newswatch. Welcome back to Newswatch. I am Andreas Haffar with your cyclone weather update. As you can see right now, it is 57 degrees. Doesn't look like there is any wind out there, and about a halfway point for the humidity at 55%. As sports anchor Hawn Wong alluded to, we do have the Iowa State versus Oklahoma football game right now. It is a 59 degrees out there. Beautiful, beautiful night. A Thursday night where you can grab a quick bite later tonight, maybe go out for mugs, and pending on the results of this football game, maybe even more. But we will see how today's highs are looking. This is what it was today in Ames. It was 71, 73 in Des Moines, 72 in Council Bluffs, and then up there in Sioux City, 77. Wow, what an impressive temperature for the time being. November 3rd, I believe it is. And Davenport, as you see, 70 and 68 in Mason City. We will go across this great nation. As you can see, it's about the same everywhere, but you go down to the southeast corner. You have 84 in Atlanta and 79 in Miami. St. Louis, 69. Chicago, you're surprised it's 67. You think it'd be red hot, maybe a 95, 96, but it is 67. And up there in Minneapolis, 65. Looking at 65 in Seattle as well. 67 in Billings, San Fran, 71, and 83 in Phoenix. It's always hot down there. You got to love it. Skip. Lows tonight, 42 in Fort Dodge, 42 in Marshalltown, 46 in Des Moines. Council Bluffs as well, it's about 42, 45 in Ottumwa, and 40 in Davenport. We're not freezing, but it is a little cold. You know, that's what we expect in November. Now, highs tomorrow, a little less. We've got 68 in Des Moines, 67 in Fort Dodge, 65 in Waterloo, and 66 in Marshalltown. Ames will be about the same, 71 and 71 as well in Council Bluffs and Sioux City. Then we have Davenport over here, 63, 67 in Ottumwa. In the extended forecast, tomorrow, there's a 40% chance that it will rain. High of 63, low of 43, and then as you can see, consistency, partly cloudy with some sun between Saturday to Tuesday. Wednesday we have some cloud coverage, and on Thursday, about the same 61s respectively, a little bit of cloud coverage as well, partly sunny. And that is all I have for your cyclone weather update. Stay tuned for Coley and Eveline at the desk. We'll be right back.
Lately, Mariah Carey has not only been dealing with her very public split from James Packer, she's also been quietly dealing with her divorce from Nick Cannon. Cannon filed for divorce from Mariah in January of 2015 after announcing their split in August 2014. The divorce has been finalized recently. The couple was married for 6 years after tying the knot in 2008, and they have 2 children together who continue to co-parent. They are staying united for the sake of their family, and they say they're in a really good place as exes. After being spotted at a Halloween party last weekend with their kids, it's clear their family is still together.
And finally, an Austrian airline has begun what it claims is the world's shortest regular international connection, an 8-minute hop across Lake Constance. The flight offered by People's Vienna Line connects St. Gallen al Rhein in Switzerland with Friedrichshafen in southern Germany. It's part of a route that passengers can book for only $44. Environmentalists aren't thrilled by the new route, which began service Wednesday, but the airline says driving around the lake for an hour would produce as much emissions as the short flight.
And that is all we have here today at ISUtv.
Tune in next Tuesday for more cyclone news, weather, and sports.
Have a great night, Ames.